Okay, y'all, I've never done a live video before, so bear with me. Let's see if I can pull this up. Hi, Emily. A live video before, so let's see. Okay, I think I've got that figured out. I'm gonna let this sit here for just a few minutes while people get here. Hi, Emily. Hello, everybody watching. So you guys voted for a tutorial that I'm filling in for Sarah. So Sarah, if you're here, I hope you're feeling better. But today, I'm going to be just showing you guys how to use alcohol inks to get a multicolored base that you can put under Mother of Pearl. If you guys don't know, Mother of Pearl is an opal glitter, which some people call like a cheat glitter almost. But basically, whenever color base you put it on, it changes the color. It's pretty simple. I'm going to be using these cosmetic sponges. I got these at a local store. They were like $2 for a whole pack. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just tearing up a bunch right now, getting them ready for the different colors. All right. Alrighty. I think we have quite a few people here, so we're going to go ahead and just get started. So, let me move my cup out of the way. All right, and so I'm going to be using a bunch of different alcohol inks. So this one is from the brand Bria Reese, I think it's called. But I'm going to be using some mermaid theme colors because that's probably what I'm going to end up putting on here. So I've got a lavender, I've got a teal, I've got, let's see, a pink. And I think that's all I'm going to use today. You can use as many or as few as you want. So there's that. I do have a bunch of different ones. I'm using Tim Holtz and Bria Reese if you guys are curious about the brands. With alcohol inks, you're going to want to make sure you shake them before you use them, so that way you don't have just lumps of color or just alcohol. Pretty easy so far, just that. And then for my cup, so far all I did was just take a cup and I spray painted it white. You can see I didn't do a great job spray painting. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want it to be, you can. And then I'm just going to turn it on, move my glitter. So I do have both Mother of Pearl, so we will vote on that later. I have fine and chunky, so whichever you guys decide you want to see, we can do. But yeah, so if anyone has any questions at any time, go ahead and ask, but I'm going to try to explain everything as best as I can. So I'm going to start with the lighter color, which is going to be pink. And like I said, I've shaken it up, and I'm just going to dot it on the sponge, and you're just going to pat it on the cup. I don't want it turning too much while I go. You're just going to pat it on. And these are going to be totally buildable. They will blend together too, though, which is nice. So as you go, you can see the color starting to build up a little bit. I'm hoping you guys can see that. But we're just going to do a bunch of pink splotches all around the cup first. And then we'll move on to different colors. So you could put the ink directly on the cup just like that and dot it around. But I kind of like putting it on the sponge because you can kind of control where it goes. But yeah, you can also do this if you don't want to invest in alcohol inks yet. I use them for a couple different things. I have them for a couple different ideas I want to do. But if you don't want to buy the inks yet, you don't have to. You can do this with acrylic inks. If you guys saw that picture of the unicorn cup that I made, I actually did that one with acrylic paint. So you just have to make sure you blend it. As you can see, if you've seen that picture, there's a big blue splotch right on the bottom left that I do not care for. But very easy to fix. You just make sure you blend a little better. I was unaware, so now I know. which is why I'm here showing you guys, since that's what you wanted to see. But yeah, we're just kind of putting on color right now. We're not worrying about blending too much. We're just putting on color. I know it's really faint. I'm sorry you guys can't see it that well, but it'll get a little more pigmented later, or perhaps I can open the windows if we need to. I do have the windows closed. All right, now I'm just gonna go back in and we're just gonna kind of deepen it up a little. So you saw just the same color, putting it on. And I do have this on my turner already. Normally I would just have this on a stick and be holding it, so that way I can just move it however I'd like, just kind of like doing this. But since I was doing the video, I decided if I had it on my turner already, if you guys want to see the epoxy glitter going on, that way it's nice and easy. I don't have to worry about trying to hook anything up. So that's why we're doing it like that. But you can do it anyway. You could do it holding it. You could do it, honestly, anyway. Yes, Mother of Pearl is an opal glitter. So I have it right here. This is the chunky. So it's white, but it has different reflex to it. So when you put it on a pink base, it's gonna look different than if you put it on a blue base or a purple base, orange, any color, honestly. Even black is really pretty. Kind of makes it orangey, which is really cool. But yes, that's Mother of Pearl. It is an opal. All right, just kind of dabbing it on. I believe Sarah used alcohol inks in her wine glass videos too. It's the same principle of just kind of dabbing on the color, just so building it how you like it. And this cup is a built cup. It is from Walmart. It is pretty inexpensive. They're not my favorite cups. Typically I use Ozarks just because they're accessible. I know there are a couple different Tumbler people and places you can order, so I would recommend just looking into them, finding your favorite style, price, etc., etc. Hi, Julie. All right, so this is going to be the last pink I do, and then we're going to move on to a different color and do that. So as you guys can see, it's pretty easy. It can get messy if you're not careful. If you're using a paintbrush, a different kind of sponge, you can get it on your hands. It will come off eventually. I'm sure you probably could wear gloves. I wear gloves as little as possible just because I hate the feel of them. And I actually have the wrong size gloves right now, so they don't fit my little hands. But there we go. All right, so moving on from the pink, I'm gonna do purple next. And I'm just gonna get a new sponge, so it's just nice, clean, and new. And I'm gonna put some purple on there. So this is pretty simple, but that's kind of the beauty of it, because you can do whatever colors or style you want. You can make this more tie-dyed. You could do a lot of things with this, which is the beauty of it. And there's so many different alcohol inks. My most used alcohol ink would be the wood colors, like the browns, because I do quite a few wood grains. And if you guys want a wood grain tutorial, I can do that. I know it's not glitter, but we'll find a way to incorporate some glitter, don't worry. Because a cup without glitter is pretty boring. I did this one recently, and you can see it's a glittered flag, but it does have paint on it, so it's kind of got a little bit of best of both worlds. All right. Just tapping away. Wherever you think you want the color, just put it on. And then the cool thing about alcohol inks is you can actually use some rubbing alcohol, and say you didn't like this, you can get a cotton pad and just wipe it off, and you could start fresh. They also remove, you can strip them very easily with acetone. I have a little bottle of nail polish remover, which is 100% acetone, the one I have, and you can easily remove inks and paints that way. Well, not easily, but it's fairly simple. You don't have to do the whole stripping it in a bucket with paint removers and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Sarah. Are you feeling better, Sarah? I hope you are. All right. Like I said, you can put on gloves if you don't want to worry about getting messy. I really don't care. I once had blue hands for like 3 days, I think it was. I tried to get everything. I didn't even think about using like acetone or anything like that. I just had blue hands. I looked like a Smurf, basically. All right, so we're getting our patches down. We're gonna put a little one right here. All right. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with the blue. Thank you for inviting people, Sarah. I don't know how to do that, honestly. But thank you for everyone who's watching, and I hope I'm doing an okay job living up to Sarah and Ruth and Ashley's legends. All right, so now I'm taking the pool color. It's just kind of like, I think it's a teal, you would call it. I'm so bad with color names. And I'm just gonna kind of put that in the remaining spots. Just adding it. And like I said, I'm kind of going with mermaid colors for this one. You could do any colors. You could do oranges, you could do anything. Yeah, playing ketchup is never fun, Sarah. But you can do any colors. There's so many different inks. And I know you can use, like I said, you can use acrylic paints, you can use watercolor inks, watercolor paints. You can use pretty much anything to do this kind of cup because it is just, you're adding color. So that way when you put that opal glitter, it gives some dimension. This blue is so pretty. Such a pretty color. And I can actually thank Emily for picking this color up for me from Michael's one day. She's a rock star. I'm trying my best to not be a messy person right now, Sarah. I'm usually really messy, so I'm trying real hard. And I'm also trying to be good and not curse, because if you guys don't know me in real life, I do curse a little bit. If you don't know, I'm married to an army man, so you can only imagine the kind of language I hear going to visit him at work. All right, so there is the color. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it so you guys can see. There's all the color, and I'm just gonna kind of bring it onto the bottom right now. I don't know how, you guys aren't gonna be able to see this at all. I'm just gonna kind of dab some of the colors on the bottom. Remove my lids out of the way. You don't have to do your bottom. I know some people actually tape it off. Oh, thank you for the support. I'm gonna make sure I try to save this on like the playback feature, so that way you can watch it later. Hopefully. I hope your hair turns out good. I haven't had my hair done in forever. All right. Looks like I need to push my turner on more. I just got new turners and I'm still learning with them. Well, I just built new turners, I should say. So I'm still learning with them. All right, so I just did the bottom real quick, the same 3 colors, nothing crazy. All right, and so you guys can see that that's going. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab my acetone real quick, or not my acetone, my alcohol. Figure out why this isn't turning, first of all. I'm gonna go grab my acetone. No, I keep saying acetone. I'm gonna go grab my alcohol, and then that way I can blend these colors a little bit. Because you can just keep adding colors and you would blend it, and you can see this is already dry. They do dry really fast. Hi, Kathy. But they do blend, or they do dry really fast. So using the alcohol on an alcohol ink will help blend it. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty. Grab the alcohol. Because who doesn't love some good alcohol? I'm just kidding. This is kid friendly. We'll do the alcohol later. Alright. This turner's being funny. I probably turned it left too much. I have done that before. So So we're just gonna turn it to the right and catch it up and see if that helps. I won't be epoxying. I might not epoxy unless you guys really want to see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and might do that later. So I'm just gonna take some acetone, or oh my gosh, I always say acetone, alcohol, and just blend that on just the same. Sometimes the bolts from the motors to the pipes comes undone. Yeah, I think we glued all 4 of these. I think when they turn left, I don't know why, they still don't do perfect. So, I don't know. I'll have to go back into the box and fix this one later. But it'll do for now. I'll always switch it to another one if I need to. Alright, and so I'm just kind of going in with the alcohol and blending some of the spots. It's going to kind of remove a little bit of it. It's going to blend a little bit of it. I am going to go in and add more because the alcohol is diluting it. So the more alcohol you put into these inks, the more it gets diluted. So some of my harsh lines is where I'm doing it right now. So you can see that was a harsh blue line. So that's why I'm adding it there. All right. Okay, so there's that so far. All right, I'm gonna just go back in with my sponges and keep blending. So it's a really, really simple technique. This is honestly it, guys. You could apply your glitter right now if you want it. It just depends on the look you're going for. I wanna blend it just a little more. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just tapping it on, and you can see the alcohol is kind of making it run. So I'm just gonna blend it just so there's no harsh lines. That's really my only goal. I don't want any super, super harsh lines. Just kind of going until you're like, yeah, that looks nice. That's honestly all I do. Just keep swimming basically. Eventually it'll work. There's been several times where I've been working on a cup and I hated it until the very last second. And then I was like, oh, that's not too bad. Happens all the time. So if you're brand new, I know the Tumbler community is kind of skyrocketed recently. If you're brand new and you're having issues, just keep going. I've been doing tumblers for about a year. July 31st, I think, is when I did my first tumbler. And I remember because that's my brother's birthday. And he was like, oh, you made me a sparkly cup? Thanks. I was like, well, it's actually not for you. I'm the worst sister. But we're just blending. It's like eyeshadow. It just never gets better until it does. I know that makes no sense probably, but just trust the process. So you just gotta go for it. Thank you, Tracy. And we're gonna switch this over to another turner. Do you guys want to see the epoxy method for the glitter? Basically, do you want to see mother of pearl fine, or do you want to see mother of pearl chunky? Because I personally like doing the epoxy method for chunky glitters. I find that it makes them lay flatter. It honestly is just what works best for me. I know a couple people who Mod Podge works better. So it's looking so patchy, but we're just blending. And then the glitter will obviously cover up all of these super harsh lines, so you don't have to worry about it being perfect. Emily said fine. Some fine glitter. I haven't used the fine on a finished tumbler yet, so I'm actually kind of excited to see. So since it's on a turner, well, it'll be on a better turner here in a moment, but since it'll be on a turner, I'll probably just do epoxy method if that's cool with y'all. I can do a Mod Podge if you want. I'd have to go grab it, but since I'm right here, I can epoxy it. This cup is just a play cup anyways. Purple is so splotchy. But yeah, this is honestly the whole tutorial. So you guys just keep going until, hi Megan. Where's the purple alcohol ink from? This is the Bria Reese brand. I got it in the paint brush aisle at Hobby Lobby. They're about $3.99 a piece, so they're pretty inexpensive. I think they're pretty much the same as, I'm gonna move this one. I do not like it. Let's see. These turners, so finicky. They never wanna work. We're just gonna remove them, maybe? We'll just leave her there. But yeah, this is the cup so far, guys. So, and as you can see, I'm touching it. It's still a little tacky, but it's not, nothing crazy. So I'm gonna grab another football and we're gonna go ahead and just move it to an actual nice turner. Because my turners are very temperamental. If you guys built your own turners, you probably know the feels that they're temperamental. So, I have multiple turners for that reason. Because sometimes they just don't want to work with me. Ooh, alcohol inks are in the works for Fairy Tale. Oh, that'll be so exciting. Love to see the epoxy method with Chunky. So we'll have to maybe do, we'll see what the end vote is at the end. So we're going to go ahead and pop this guy on. Make sure he's twisted in all the way. This is how I put my turners on. It's simple. All right. Jerica, don't worry. It will be, I'm going to try to save it so you guys can turn back and watch later. So don't worry too much. I'm going to try my best to either save it, and if I can keep it on the Fairy Tale page, that'll be perfect. But if not, I will try to save it and put it on YouTube and share a link. I will have it so you can watch it later. But honestly, what we did right now is we just kind of put the alcohol inks on the sponge and just tapped it on. And I'm just doing purple, teal, and a pink. Just colors that I thought would look fun for kind of a mermaid themed tumbler. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet. I actually do have a second tumbler set up if you guys want to see a video of that one. That's more of what I would call like a peekaboo that I'm going to add alcohol inks to. But there's that so far. What do you guys think? Another vote for Chunky. Yeah, don't worry about missing the beginning, Jerica. I will try to save it, like I said, and I will, all I've done is kind of dab the alcohol inks on, so you haven't missed much, luckily. Another vote for Chunky. So I think we're going to do Chunky. Hope that's cool with everyone, and I'm just going to kind of dab off some of that. I'm so messy. I just make a mess everywhere. Just ask my husband, honestly. I think I need to add a little more pink back into this cup. Oh, another vote for Fine. Oh, goodness. We've got some conflict. Well, I do have a second tumbler here that is prepped and ready for some alcohol ink, so I could always try to do two if you guys want to stick around for that. That's always an option. You guys can let me know. Honestly, my husband's playing video games right now, so he's content as content can be. He's out there with our little puppy and his PS4. He's content. So if you guys want to see the other one, and I can show you the prep work for that one so far, it's the same base as this, where it's just a white base, but this one has vinyl underneath, so that way I can do a peekaboo. If you guys want to see that too, I can do another video. Whatever you guys want, just let me know. If you guys don't know me, all I do is make tumblers. That is my job, literally. So I'm pretty much here all the time. If you guys haven't seen my name popping up on your news feed for the Fairy Tale page, I'm always here. I don't do much. So I can do more tutorials. I can do a second one. I'm so not messy. I'm trying really hard. You should see my craft desk. This is normally not where I do it. Tell my husband I'm not messy. He thinks I'm the messiest crafter in the world. I'm like, I don't think I'm that bad. You want to see Fine and Chunky? We could do that. So we'll do chunky first since that seems to be the majority vote. And then if you guys want to see me apply a little bit of alcohol ink to that second tumbler, and then I can put fine on that one if you guys like. Fine and chunky? Okay. Honestly, once I finish this live, I'm just going to go glitter more cups so I can hang out with you guys. All right, I think we're getting close to where I'm satisfied with how it looks. I know it's kind of splotchy. Like I said, you can go back in with the alcohol inks or the alcohol and blend it out a little bit, but honestly, I'm not mad at it. And right now I had a pink sponge, but now it's just kind of a multicolor sponge. And I'm just kind of blending around. I'm lightly holding the bottom so it doesn't shake too much. That has nothing to do with the application. All right, what do you guys think? I think it's a lot of purple. It's a lot of purple. So we're gonna add some pink in there. But honestly, I like purple, so not even mad. I have seen your lives. You know, we can deal with the messiness for how amazing your tutorials are, though. All right, so I'm thinking that's about good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. What do you guys think? I think I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for the epoxy. So I'm not super picky. I just kind of like to wing it. When I first started Tumblers, I didn't even watch any tutorials. I just kind of did it. My first cup is a rose gold cup, and it has a Beauty and the Beast picture on it because that was like mine and my husband's movie. So, like I said, I'm not a professional. Your space is cleaner than mine. This one's new. This setup is new. So this is a pretty new turner, which still has its quirks because me and my husband built it. So it's not perfect. Ugh. This one's going to annoy me so much. I'm going to have to fix it. Definite mermaid vibes. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't have a ton of alcohol inks. So when I was first looking, I was like, ooh, purple, pink, and blue. Kind of mermaidy. I would love to see your glitter dungeon, Sarah. Sorry if I'm bouncing around the comments. I'm trying to keep up. I have my laptop set up over here to my right, and I'm blind as a bat, so I'm having to try to squint and read. All right, so here's the cup so far. I'm gonna just let it turn because why not? And I'm gonna go ahead and mix some epoxy. So that way we guys can see the chunky glitter. So how I mix my epoxy is I use little medicine cups. I always mix way more epoxy than I need. I usually mix 15 milliliters of each, which I know is way too much, but then I just put the excess into molds that I gift with my orders. And then for epoxy right now, I have Promarine. I know Ruth told me about Promarine. She did not like it personally, but it's honestly working for me so far. What do you have on vinyl? On the second cup? So for the second cup I have right here, this was the one I was gonna do for the live tonight, but I figured you guys wanted to see the alcohol and glitter, so I figured jumping straight to this might be a little too much. But this, I did a blue base. Actually, I did Mermaid Lagoon as the base. I did the matching lid too. So I did Mermaid Lagoon as a base, and I applied vinyl, and I put glue on the vinyl. So this is just hot glue dots on the vinyl, so that way once you apply glitter, it's easier to see your vinyl, so that way you can peel it all off. So then you have your second layer of glitter and you can still see that blue peeking through. I would think it would be called a glitter on glitter peekaboo. I don't know if there's an actual term for it, but I did kind of like a mermaid. It's pretty sure it's Ariel on a rock, but I just looked up mermaid SVG and it popped up, so that's what I used. So that is with that. So we can do fine glitter on that one if you guys like. So back to mixing epoxy. I get distracted, y'all. Sorry. So let me see. So I'm just going to mix my epoxy. I forgot to grab my Sharpie, so bear with me while I mix this. But yeah, I'm using Pro Marine right now. It is working for me, honestly. I don't have any problems with it. The only thing is it's really stinky, so like in this current room, I usually have the window open so that way it's nice and ventilated and I have stuff set up. But I don't have the window open right now because it's very windy here in Texas where I am. So it's pretty windy, and so it's blowing the blinds around. So I didn't want to have the blinds making more of a distraction. Plus my neighbor decided to mow their yard, so that's fun. And I'm sure my dog will run out there at some point barking. So like I said, I did 15 mils of each, A and B, and I'm just gonna mix. And since we're applying glitter, I'm not gonna worry too much about mixing slowly because I'm not gonna worry about bumps since I am going to be putting glitter over it. Now, if you're doing your final layer, you probably wanna mix it slower, but literally just a popsicle stick. Bought this pack specifically at the dollar store and just mixing. Oh, I say y'all all the time. I'm from Georgia. I live in Texas now because my husband's in the Army, but I'm from North Georgia, so I'm not as southern could be, but I still have the twang of it. Every once in a while, especially if I'm really mad, my little southern accent comes out. So, but I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm just mixing the epoxy. I'm late here. How do you get this look with the alcohol inks? I've been dying to try. So what I did is I can go ahead and do a little bit just to show you. So I take my alcohol ink, make sure you shake it, and you're just gonna put it on, let me get a new one. So you're just gonna squirt some on a sponge and just dab it on. That's all you're gonna do. So it's a pretty easy application, and you just kind of add and blend as you go, so that way you get the color and the pigmentation you want. Yeah, just like that. So pretty simple, nothing crazy. You're from Alabama. I have a feeling we're probably going to get sent to Alabama at some point because my husband's in the aviation portion of the Army. And so Fort Rucker is a big aviation base. So I have a feeling we'll probably end up in Alabama at some point. Thank you, Ruth, for posting the link for everyone to watch again. I do not know how to do that. You'll have to teach me. I've never done a live video before. Ooh, Mom of the Year. Go to fireworks. I'm hoping the base does something. I don't know if they are. All right, y'all. So I've mixed the epoxy. You can see just mixed. Nothing crazy. It is quite bubbly, but like I said, since it's the base layer, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just kind of wipe off my stick. Throw it down. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my large gloves. They're too big for my hands, so I constantly yank at them. So please ignore that. Thank you, Sarah. I've never done a live video. I've never done a tutorial, so I'm hoping I'm doing okay. Fort Rucker will be home base. Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of his people he works with, so. Some people do like to seal their alcohol inks before applying epoxy. I'm not doing that. As you can see, I've just started applying the epoxy. Actually, I guess I should explain what I'm doing, being a tutorial. So I just take the cup and kind of hold it near the cup, and I dip my finger in, and I kind of wipe it on. And I'm careful around the rim, which is why I wish I had gloves, because this whole tip of my finger is just loose. So if you have gloves that fit, you can really get in there with your fingertip. You can really get in there and make sure you get the rim nice and covered. Since this is just going to be the first layer of epoxy probably, since it is, I'm going to be applying the glitter. I'm not going to worry too much about the ridge right now because I can always go in and sand it if needed. But typically I have pretty good luck. I just kind of take it up to the edge using my fingertip, and I honestly have pretty good luck with it so far, knock on wood, but... And then I just take the epoxy. You want very little. I know someone's probably cringing so hard right now at the amount of epoxy I mixed. I know you're supposed to have the littlest amount, so I'm just gonna I've used the tiniest amount, and what I do is I just kind of drag it down for the epoxy method. Because if you have too much, you're gonna get wet spots. Thank you, Ruth. And you're just gonna drag it down. I know some people say you can mix 2.5 milliliters of epoxy, like part A, part B, so you'd have 5 total. I've never done that because, like I said, I will use the epoxy for something else typically. I don't know if I will today because I don't have any glitters in here, but we will see. Maybe I'll go grab some. But I'm just taking my finger and dragging down the cup. That's all. And I know you're supposed to use a respirator and stuff when you do epoxy. I do typically. I have one. I'm just not right now because otherwise you guys would not understand a word I'm saying. I know I talk fast already, so I didn't want to make it even harder. So do take the proper precautions. Do your research. But yeah, so that's about it. So we have a pretty good base going right now. Pretty much everything is covered, or not pretty much everything, so I have to do the butt of the cup still. And normally at this point normally I would do the inks freehand. Like I said, I'd be holding it. So what I would do is I'd take the epoxy and apply it to the bottom of the cup first. Like, let me show you guys. Like I would take the bottom of the cup and do the bottom and glitter it and then put it on the turner, because you have to like throw glitter at the cup to get the bottom done well. It's just no fun. So, but we do what we do to do the things we like. Yeah, so I've got glitter on, and we are going to be doing chunky because that's what everyone requested. So there we are. Have I missed any comments? Missed the first, how did you apply color? I went ahead, I do have epoxy in my hand, so I can only do so much. I took a makeup sponge, you can get these for cheap, you can use any sponge, and I just put a couple drops on the tip and just dabbed it on. That's all I did to apply the ink. I may be doing it again here in a minute, so if you want to stick around, you can see it happen again, because I do have a second cup here that is prepped. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use fine or chunky, and wasn't sure what you guys were going to pick, so I prepped 2 cups. So, all right. So the cup seems to be pretty covered now, so I'm just going to take off my glove, throw it down, and we're going to move the epoxy out of the way. You don't want to spill that everywhere. I'm just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. I feel like I'm making a mess. Okay. And Sarah's probably like, that's not a mess. Let me show you a mess. All right. So I'm going to let this turn for a second and get my glitter ready. So like I said, we're going to be using Mother of Pearl Chunky for this first one. If you guys are interested in the second video, the second cup, I will do it much quicker because I won't be explaining as much, and I don't worry about blending as much. But yeah, so this is the chunky. So I do have the paper down underneath, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it so that way I can dump it back, because you do not want to waste glitter. I've seen people, I haven't watched a lot of tutorials, but I've seen people that they'll do it and then they'll just throw away the glitter, or I've heard about it, and I'm like, no, this glitter is beautiful. You can't waste it. You can't do that. I mean, you can do you, but I'm not going to do that, I guess I should say. So, all right. So I have this shaker right here. We're ready. So I'm going to pop open probably the big side just so I can get the chunky glitter out. But you want to go on with a really light hand. You don't want to overdo it at first. And I'm no way a professional, so like take everything I say with a grain of salt. But you're going to just kind of come in and you're going to just tap on some glitter. Very slowly. Try to not overflow the cup with glitter. And then, like I said, you put that paper down so that way you can save whatever falls off, because not everything is going to stick to the cup, which is fine. You don't always want it to. All right, so you guys can see at the top how it is different colored. How the base color, ooh, that was a lot. How the base color is affecting the overall look. Ruth, I need more Mother of Pearl Chunky. This color is so pretty. I just used it for the first time not long ago on that unicorn cup, and I only have the small jar. So Ruth, I'm gonna be ordering some chunky soon because it's just so pretty. All right, I'm just applying. I don't know if you guys can see the shift as well as I can. I might have to pick up the camera here in a bit and show y'all once it's on before I move to the second cup. But I'm just kind of applying, making a mess. Don't tell my husband. But there we are. This is it. This is what I do. So it looks real pretty. So you can see where the blue is. It definitely has a different look than where the pink is, where the purple is. So, and like I said, you can do any colors. I was just kind of going for a mermaid vibe because this cup makes me think unicorn and mermaids. And I had just done a unicorn cup. And personally, me, I'm not obsessed with unicorns. And this cup may or may not be for me. So I didn't want to do another unicorn cup. Now you guys get to watch the humor of trying to do the bottom because I'm literally just gonna, yep, throw it at it. Just get it on there however you can. You could take a glove and you could try to apply it, but this is honestly more fun, so why not? All right, and then like I said, I'm gonna move you guys back just a touch so I can pick up my paper better. There we go. Hope that didn't mess it up too much. And I'm just gonna kind of pick up the side. Oop, I don't know what happened, so I might have to start another video for the little fine if you guys really want to see that. We're just gonna break this one real quick. Don't worry about it, guys. I screwed it on there way too tight, and now I can't unscrew this one. And I'm so annoyed at myself. But anyways, I'm gonna pick up this and just kind of shift it all onto one piece of paper. You can use parchment paper. I just have copy paper because I don't know where my parchment paper is. That's really why. So you're just gonna try to keep as much of it on the paper as you can so you don't make a huge mess. And you're gonna come over here and you're just gonna dump it back into the shaker. Hope you guys can see that. But if not, all I'm doing is dumping it back in. Sorry about the dog in the background. He is a German Shepherd. He barks at whatever he wants. He probably just woke up and heard the lawnmower outside, honestly. So, there's that. But yeah, that's really it, guys. Like, that's this for the chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you for the compliments, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean up just a little bit. I'm going to stay on if I can. My phone has terrible storage space, and it said something about storage a second ago, so if it paused, I'm sorry. But so if it ends randomly, I will make a post and try to get back on, y'all. But yeah, so there's that. So I'm just gonna get the hairs off of it because, once again, German Shepherd does what he wants. His hair is everywhere. And just put it back into the shaker. So there's that. And I'm not gonna worry about making it perfect. But yeah, so there's the cup, y'all. That's what Mother of Pearl looks like over a multicolor base. So this is the chunky. If you guys just tuned in or anything, or you weren't listening, because I know I don't listen very well, this is the chunky. So we're gonna go ahead and jump and do the fine. If I can find the lid. There it is. So I'm gonna have to scooch y'all back and do that. So just bear with me. You guys are gonna be moving around. Try not to get motion sick or anything. But we're gonna go ahead and do the fine one on that Ariel themed cup. Or not Ariel, mermaid themed cup. That looks perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys in there and show you a little better. How cool, right? So, could have blended a little more, but honestly, I think it looks cool. So, yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. So I'm gonna scoot y'all back here a little further so that way I can put you guys, so you guys can see this turner. Since my other one decided it wanted to poop on me. Alright, sorry it's shaky, y'all. Like I said, I'm not a videographer. I don't know what I'm doing. video been going? It's been some time. Well, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes? I don't know. All right, so we're gonna scooch on over. I have this one. It is a bottle. It's like a water bottle style cup. So this is the lid that would go for it. So this is what the peekaboo glitter is gonna look like. So exciting, Mermaid Lagoon. But yeah, so you can see the outline. And then if you guys didn't hear earlier, these bumps are hot glue on top of vinyl. So that way when I peel it off, it exposes the blue. So we're gonna go ahead and scooch on back. Gonna screw this one in nice and tight. All right, and I do have some tape up here at the top from when I spray painted it. Probably should have peeled it off, but you know, it's fine. We just wing it here, honestly. So, gonna make sure this one's screwed in nice and tight. I'm so used to having long sticks before hitting this, so when I upgraded to this turner, I'm having to get used to these short sticks, and it's an adjustment, let me tell you. So, can y'all see? I think that'll be good. We'll keep it tilted up so y'all can see the one in the background. Ignore my husband's messy army closet. What can you do? And let me turn my laptop. Sorry guys, it's taking me a minute. Wasn't sure if you guys were gonna want to see 2 cups, so wasn't quite prepared. But that's the story of my life. So, there we go. So I'm gonna get some new sponges since the other ones are kind of dirty. I'll use them if I can. But like I said, this is a pack of sponges that I got. I personally bought it at the PX on Post, but I've seen these at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Target, anywhere will sell these little triangle sponges. And they were like $1.50, I think, at the PX, so probably $2 elsewhere. But yeah, that's what I'm using. So if you guys wanted to see how it was applied, keep tuned because that's about to happen. All right, let's see what ones I can reuse. I try not to waste too much. The one thing about these makeup sponges is that you can only do so much. So starting over from point A, y'all. We're gonna shake up the alcohols because they do settle, so we're just shaking those up right now. And we're gonna just start applying again. So if you saw the first half, you know how to do this. If not, welcome. So we're gonna go ahead and just take off all the lids first, make it easier for me. Thank you, everybody. If you guys are just tuning in, because I do see the viewers changing. If you're just tuning in, we are going ahead and doing a second tumbler. This is a white-based cup. It does have vinyl and hot glue on it. You can just ignore that. It will look like that, so white base. And we're going to be doing Mother of Pearl Fine, which I actually haven't used before. So I'm really excited about that. So let's just get started. So we're going to start with the lighter color, which is the pink, and you just drop it on. I'm gonna just load it up, and you're just gonna dab, 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 dab. I'll stop that before it gets annoying, don't worry. You can hear my puppy crying at the door. So sad. Your mommy can't play with you right now. He's so spoiled. All right. You're gonna just dab on the color. All right, and we're gonna flick it on and let it turn for a second instead of messing with it and messing up my turner. And you're gonna take this all the way up to the rim, which is why you would want it painted. You can see a little piece of hot glue fell off. That's fine. We'll manage. Probably should have taken a picture of this before so that way I know where all my vinyl pieces are, but you know, it's okay. We'll learn, we'll manage, everything will be fine. All Alright, we're gonna just turn a little more. I want this one to be more purple and blue, just like the other one. I'm just adding a little bit of pink for the definition, basically, just to have some dimension, I guess is the word I should use. So, there we are. Does anyone have any questions about what we're doing here? We're just taking the makeup sponges with the alcohol, inks, applying it straight to the sponge, and putting it on the cup. Sorry about my arm, y'all. We're gonna add just a little bit up here at the top. And you could do any colors, but since this one's kind of a mermaid theme too, we're just doing the same colors. But you do whatever colors you want. Don't let me tell you how to live your life. Alright, I'm gonna take that same sponge and put some purple. And what I'm noticing is the Bria Reese, these bigger bottle alcohol inks, are way more pigmented than the Tim Holtz. So this is my first time using the Bria Reese one, so if you're like me and this is your first time using it, just know they're a little more pigmented. They have a little more color payoff, which is not a bad thing. That's actually probably a good thing, but was not prepared. All right, I'm flipping the sponge over, seeing how that works to kind of blend the edges, which actually looks kind of nice. So we're gonna do that. Taking just kind of an empty sponge and doing that. All right, flipping it on and rotating it. You can see this purple's going a lot further than that pink did. I still haven't refilled this. So it definitely has a lot more longevity. Let me know if you guys like these longer, like 2-cup tutorials, or if you prefer shorter 1-cups. Let me know what you guys want to see and what days work best, what times work best, because I can pretty much do any weekday. So just let me know. All right, we're gonna expand this purple up here a little bit, and then we're gonna do a lot of blue. So super excited about the blue. It's so pretty. All right, so I'm just gonna take the blue and dab it on. Nothing crazy. And you don't have to worry about, if you can see, like right on some of these pieces, I can see where the glue flipped over. If you're doing this style of tumbler, where the glue flipped over, I'm not going to worry about making sure that the whole thing's covered, as long as the base of the cup is covered, if that makes sense. So like the vinyl's not getting fully covered, but that's okay. Is everyone ready for the 4th of July tomorrow? I have no clue what my plans are. I need to find out what's happening around me and try to make some plans. I know we bought stuff for burgers. That's about all I know, so. And since this cup was probably for me, or I might mail it to my cousin as a gift, I'm gonna make it a lot of blue because I think the blue is really pretty. All right, and I'm just kind of wiggling my epoxy up here, making sure it's not completely set. We'll see if we can reuse it. If we can, great. If not, we'll mix more. Love those colors. Me too. This blue is like stunning. And since this is kind of more or less an Ariel cup, I think the blue and purple to represent like her tail and her seashells is awesome. All right, we're gonna let it turn for a second. I think we're gonna add some pink right there. So we're gonna grab a sponge, add some pink. You just kind of keep going. Want to come over for burgers? Are you guys doing burgers tomorrow? I'll talk to Lucas because I'm not sure. I'll talk to my husband. I know my mom and my little sister are supposed to be coming, but I'll message you, Ruth. because honestly, I don't know what we're doing. Oh, there's a piece of mother of pearl chunky. We're just gonna leave her. It's just gonna be a nice little birthmark for this cup. Normally, if it were an order, I wouldn't do that, but since this is just a fun cup, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, this is our first 4th of July here in Texas, so we're excited to see it. And our first 4th of July on a base, too. So that's pretty exciting for us. Does anyone have some fun plans? Because back home, we'd normally have a huge firework display going on in our neighborhood, but this is our first year. I'm not going to be there, so very sad, but that's okay. I'm going to spend it with my puppy. It's his first 4th of July, so we're going to see how that goes. All right. I'm going to make sure to add some more pinks because I just thought about it. I wanted to make this cup a lot of blue, but I totally didn't even think that the underneath is going to be blue. So we're gonna add some purples and pinks. This is just usually how it goes, y'all. I'm just kind of everywhere. Is Emily watching? Hi, Emily. I know, Emily, you're working tomorrow. All right. We're almost there, y'all. Almost there. We're hanging out at home and grilling. My 1.5-year-old German Shepherd has anxiety from the fireworks. Our little baby, he is 8 months on the 10th, on July 10th. So he's still very little. And so he was born in November 10th. And so we're not sure how he's going to react. I know being on an army post, we're not allowed to launch our own fireworks, but I don't know if the base is doing fireworks. I would assume so, but I honestly haven't been paying attention. Be prepared for 190 to be completely jammed. Oh yeah, this highway's crazy. We have some highways back in Georgia that get crazy on holidays that I just avoid, honestly. I'm sure 190 will be bad. And of course, Post is right off of it. If anyone that doesn't live around here is probably like, what? It's just a really bad highway. It gets very trafficy. All right. Gonna make sure everything is covered, except for that patch right there. That's why you want to check. All right, we're gonna do purple on that patch. They are. Oh wait, is the Emily? Is the concert? I know there's like a concert going on. Is there fireworks for that too? It's really not a lot of blue on this side. Now I'm missing the blue. But that Mermaid Lagoon will show through. Save the day. But I can't help it. We're gonna add a little bit. So, all right, so I'm going to turn this and just kind of see what I think, add some patches where needed, and hopefully get ready for some epoxy. And as it's turning, I'm just going to kind of dab it in there. I'm gonna just take a clean sponge and just kind of dab some of these spots. Okay. I wish I had more blue, but that's just me. Emily, you sent me something? Okay. Oh, see, I didn't know there was fireworks tomorrow. Look at me, Captain Observant. not sure how I feel about this one, but we're gonna go ahead and just do it anyways because you never know. And I actually don't know what Mother of Pearl Fine is gonna look like, so I'm excited to see. So I want to get going. I'm too eager. So we're gonna just put the inks away real quick before they sit out too long. And we're gonna get the epoxy from the first cup. It might be good still. We're gonna check it first because if it's too chunky already, we might not be able to use it. But if that's the case, we'll just go ahead and mix up some new epoxy. So let's see. Oh yeah, no, we're still good and runny because I tried to be real quick on the second cup. So we're gonna go ahead and just make sure she's mixed, which it looks like it is. So we're good. All right, I'm gonna put on a new glove. Sorry if I bump the camera, it's behind it. When do you remove the spikes? So the spikes are attached to vinyl. So some people put on alcohol inks and they would leave it like this so that way it would be alcohol inks and glitter. I want to try glitter and glitter. I don't know if this is going to work fully, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy, glitter, and then I'm gonna try to peel off these pieces. I'll probably stop the live and just post an end picture, but so that way you guys can just see the alcohol inks and glitter, which is what this live is for. But I'll show the picking of it later. I do want to do a glitter and wood peekaboo, so I do have that in my brain and I want to make that happen. So if you guys want to see a tutorial for that, let me know. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and just try to apply some epoxy. Once again, you're gonna wanna do a very thin layer. And don't worry, you're just gonna apply it right over the spikes and everything. And if you are just tuning in, because I see the numbers fluctuating, if you're just tuning in, this is an alcohol ink base that we just dabbed using makeup sponges. And we're applying epoxy. And we're going to put on Mother of Pearl Fine, so that way we can see what that looks like over these colors, which are pink, purple, and a teal. You'd love to see that tutorial? Awesome. I have lots of ideas in my brain, and so if you guys want to see if you want to see lives, you can definitely let me know. If you want me to just record videos and like edit them together so they're not so long or so much downtime, you guys can let me know that too. I can try to set that up. Try to figure that out. It is kind of hard to epoxy over the spikes, so you want to be gentle to try not to knock them off of the vinyl, because the whole point of the little hot glue spikes is so that way when you go to pick off the vinyl, you know where all your vinyl pieces are. So that is the point of them, if anyone was curious. All right. I'm running out of space, y'all, on my phone. Sorry. Just joining. Never would have thought to do that. The spikes. I feel like I saw it somewhere. I know I did not come up with it. So I cannot take credit for that. And I'm sorry the feed froze, y'all. My camera's being stupid. Not even gonna lie. My phone, I need to empty the storage and gallery and such. So, sorry, but you didn't miss anything before I caught it. I'm still applying epoxy. All right, we're getting close to covering everything. I'm going nice and slow because I want to make sure it's all covered. All right, because you don't want to miss a spot. And if you do, you just go back and cover it. Not the end of the world, but it's kind of annoying. So there's the epoxy so far. Yeah, Facebook's been acting crazy all day. I don't know what it's doing. I was hoping that the live would go okay, so I was hoping Facebook would get it together for the live. So sorry y'all if it's cut out a couple times and I haven't noticed. I've been trying to watch it. All right. Laying down my paper so I can catch all of the beautiful glitter, so save it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take Mother of Pearl Fine so it looks kind of white and iridescent in the container. And I'm just gonna start sprinkling it on. And I've honestly never used Mother of Pearl Fine besides for a mold. So I don't know what to expect, and I'm really excited about it. Yeah, sorry if it keeps freezing, guys. I'm trying. I don't know what's wrong, if it's Facebook, if it's my phone. I don't know. I know Facebook's been all crazy today, though. We're just dumping glitter. You know, it's fine. Everything's fine. This room's just gonna be covered in glitter. It's cool. Whoop, that was a lot. You want to try to not do that, honestly. You want to try to keep it as a nice thin coat, but obviously shit happens. Sometimes you can't help it. Because I believe my husband turned on the air conditioner, and so there's a small breeze in here because it's blowing to the side a little more than it was before. So that's fun. Whoops, big dump. All right, so we got a nice good coverage, it looks like, on. Whoops. We're just dumping. We're just making mess. Mother of Pearl house. But honestly, I'd be okay with that. All right, we're gonna try to get the bottom. And honestly, just get the bottom however you can. All right. And some people don't glitter the bottom, so that's not required. But I personally like to. I like when it's done, so yeah. But there's that, y'all. So I'm gonna show you that real quick, and then I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here since this live was to see the alcohol inks and the glitter. So I'm gonna show you all the glitter now, and then I'm gonna peel off these pieces as best as I can, and I will post a picture in the page later. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'm gonna go ahead and stand up so I can show you guys the cups. So let's see. Let me get y'all off the tripod so that way I can just hold it. I may not break my tripod in the process, but here is the cup. Give me 1 second while I figure out my tripod. Trying not to knock it over. All right, but there it is. Sorry, it was shaky, y'all. But there is the cup. And then here is the chunky. So obviously with the chunky, you're gonna have more, the pieces are larger, so you're going to see it a little differently. But there it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here. Thank you guys for all watching. And I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna peel off these pieces before the epoxy dries. And yeah. So thank you for watching. Let me know what video you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.